Biden's short visit to No 10 raises concerns about anti-British stance. Joe Biden, the President of the United States, paid a brief visit to Downing Street in an attempt to address his alleged anti-British reputation. However, his stay lasted only for 2 minutes before he left. The purpose of his visit was to have tea in the garden ahead of a crucial NATO summit in Lithuania. During the meeting, Biden assured the UK Prime Minister that the transatlantic alliance was solid and emphasized the close friendship and alliance between the two nations. As the US President's armored vehicle, known as the Beast, arrived on Downing Street at 10:35 a.m., the British flag was prominently displayed, a notable contrast to Biden's previous visit to Northern Ireland, where the flag was absent. This visit marked Biden's first time at No 10 since assuming office, and he warmly greeted Chancellor Rishi Sunak with a handshake on the steps before commencing their discussions. However, concerns have arisen regarding Biden's apparent disregard for the UK's viewpoints. Despite their frequent meetings over the past few months, Biden seems to be largely ignoring the UK's position on various issues. Recent tensions have emerged, with Biden dismissing the notion of Ukraine's immediate inclusion in NATO and putting Sunak in an awkward position by declaring the U.S. intention to supply cluster bombs to Kyiv, an action the UK has committed to avoiding. Although the issue was raised during the talks, the British spokesman admitted that Washington showed no signs of reconsidering its decision. Speculation also surrounded potential disagreements over the next head of NATO, as Biden seemed to block the aspirations of British Defense Secretary Ben Wallace and instead backed the European Union's Ursula von der Leyen for the position. Surprisingly, Sunak chose to avoid addressing this controversy during their meeting. Biden left No 10 at 11:17 a.m. after signing the visitor's book. Tory MP David Jones criticized the engagement, emphasizing the need for a positive response and suggesting that the Prime Minister should remind Biden of America's strongest ally. During their discussions in the Downing Street garden, ahead of the NATO summit in Lithuania, Biden assured the Prime Minister that the special relationship between the US and the UK was solid. Sitting on rattan furniture, the leaders expressed their closeness and friendship, with Biden reiterating the rock-solid nature of their alliance. Sunak emphasized the importance of strengthening cooperation and joint economic security for the benefit of both nations' citizens, highlighting their position as firm allies within the Euro-Atlantic alliance. Downing Street revealed that, after the cameras departed, the leaders discussed the U.S. decision to supply cluster munitions to Ukraine. While the UK is committed to an international convention banning such weapons and Sunak is obligated to oppose their use, the US has not ratified the agreement. The British spokesman acknowledged the difficult choice faced by the US due to Russia's aggressive actions, but confirmed that the discussions involved the UK's commitments under the convention and its efforts to discourage the use of cluster munitions. Biden has reportedly been advocating for the current president of the European Commission to assume leadership of the military alliance. However, British MPs expressed frustration, referring to Biden's behavior as inappropriate, especially following Britain's failure to obtain his approval to train Ukrainian pilots for F-16 fighter jets. Conservatives have cautioned against von der Leyen, citing her controversial tenure as German defense minister, during which Berlin's troops famously trained with broomsticks due to a shortage of rifles during NATO exercises. In an interview with CNN before embarking on his journey, Biden expressed reservations about Ukraine's readiness for NATO membership, citing the ongoing war and the need for unanimity within the alliance. This stance contrasted with the UK's more optimistic outlook regarding Ukraine's prospects of joining NATO. Former Conservative leader Ian Duncan Smith urged a more positive approach, emphasizing the importance of instilling confidence in Ukraine by signaling that membership could become a reality in the future. Downing Street confirmed that the topic of Ukraine's NATO membership would be discussed at the NATO summit in Lithuania. The spokesman dismissed suggestions of a discrepancy between the US and UK positions, stating that such reporting was inaccurate. Former National Security Advisor Lord Ricketts highlighted the discomfort felt by other Western nations regarding the U.S. stance on cluster bombs. He noted that all nations, except the U.S., had committed to the convention prohibiting the production, stockpiling, and use of these indiscriminate weapons. Despite acknowledging Ukraine's lack of precision munitions and fighter aircraft, Ricketts viewed cluster bombs as a potential game-changer in its counteroffensive against President Putin's army. While he expressed unease with the U.S. decision, he acknowledged the difficult choices countries must make during wartime and understood the motivations behind it. Dear friend, if you like everything new about the royal family and don't want to miss all the novelties, subscribe to our channel and like it. By doing so, you take part in our development. We work for you.